So in 1994, I went to visit my future in-laws. And they had a box of matches in the bathroom. And I grew up, I wouldn't say 1%, but we were very comfortable growing up. So I really didn't know. We had 3 bathrooms in my house growing up, and I just never had any kind of experience where you would need matches. But Ron told me later. I'm like, oh, okay. But Ron did not want to use matches, and I didn't want him to have matches in our apartment anyway, just because I just thought, that's just a bad idea, especially with his drinking. And he there they are. So we compromised, and we got a room fragrance spray, like that Piney Woods or whatever, Febreze type stuff that the aerosol can that you just spray in the air. Here, I got one over here. I'll show you. And there are no cats around, so I can demonstrate. So, like this. And, you shake it up and and you're good to go. Well, after Ron's accident, he was very, very embarrassed and very highly, highly, extremely embarrassed about toilet issues, because for a while he had to use a bedpan, and then he had a bedside chair commode that he used, and he used that off and on, depending on his mobility, which was fluid. It would change sometimes. And but he was very fond of the spray. When he would use the chair, he could just spray it and it just smelled better. But one time he was in there, and I walked in behind him, and he just let loose. It was Peach Blossom by Glade, and he just maced me just right up the nose like a blow. And oh, it triggered the most vicious migraine. Well, I had an experience somewhat like that this morning. Now, HEB will put their discount stuff at Jovi's sometimes, and they did that with this sunscreen. And it's a very good sunscreen. You notice I am not burned, and I have a lot of skin hanging out today, and this is not tanned at all. So I would have gotten very red and burned because I was outside in the sun off and on for about an hour. But I used this, and it was as bad as the Peach Blossom, guys. This just so bad. You know what? It's going in the trash. I'm not even going to give it to somebody. And I can see why they had to get rid of it, because that just the fragrance. And I was okay for a while. I got out, I went out, I had fun. I went to the pupusa place. And then I did probably my favorite thing in the world. While I'm stuffing my face with delicious food, I wrote them an amazing review on Google. So, Coco Bahia, if you want to look it up. So, anyways, I move this. So I was okay, I had a little bit of a headache, but I was okay. And so I went out, and I'm doing different things. And oh, my shoe. It rubbed off on my foot. This looks terrible, doesn't it? But it's the shoe, the ink on the shoe, the dye on the shoe rubbed off on my foot. Oh, that looks horrible. If I sent a picture of that to my boss, she would freak. Anyway, oh, and here, check it out. Heat rash. I only get it in that one spot. It's really weird. So, I was okay. I went to the restaurant, and I ate, and I had fun, and then I was waiting to go to Dollar Tree over at Greenspoint. And there's 2 buses that go past the restaurant on Veterans. There's the 96, which basically runs up and down Veterans, and there's the 85, which comes up Antoine, goes down Veterans, and then he takes a left onto Spears, and he goes to the Transit Center. And I get off right before the Transit Center and go to the Dollar Tree. And I really like that Dollar Tree. They have a good selection. And, the people there who work there are really nice. The customers are pretty rough. A lot of very belligerent drug addicts. But, I can handle that. So, I was waiting on veterans, and a couple of 96s went by, so I gave them candy, and hidden on Candy Lady, I called it, and they laughed about that. They apparently talk about me, so yeah, which is cool. But they knew who the Candy Lady was and what I was about, so yeah, that's good. Because sometimes people are like, I don't want this. They don't know what the deal is, and whatever they're hearing at the garage makes them willing to take it. So, I got my 85 and I went to Dollar Tree and it started raining big time, like drowned rat. And I'm in the store and I'm thinking it's going to pass. It's not passing. To quote my mailman, the whole damn city opened up for 2 hours. And I did not have good choices there because they were out of ponchos, of course, and I had bought a tablecloth. I was going to put it over me, but I spent so much time strapping up everything in the buggy that by the time I finished, I'm like, I don't want to dig it out again. So I just wrapped up my glasses. That's why the glasses are okay. Put them in my bag and had my cell phone and everything wrapped up. And so that was fine. And then I went out, and I really didn't have any problems getting home, but there was one young guy who wanted a free ride on the bus. And sometimes guys will try to use me to get a free ride on the bus by, quote, helping me. If they, quote, help me on the bus, they feel like they're entitled to a free ride. Well, he picked up one side of the buggy and almost tipped it over. And I yelled at him. And I said, don't touch it. That's mine. And he said, oh. I said, I have it. What I need to remember is a very good phrase I've heard. I did not ask for help. And after he got on, he had a lot to say about me for a couple minutes, and then he got off again. But, the nice thing is if he ever sees me again, I'm going to have the glasses on. He won't know who I am. But when he got off, I told the driver, I used to pick my husband off the floor. I could certainly handle the buggy. And she just laughed. But I was wearing these black leather clogs, I guess. And I got them on clearance at work. And they're really cute, but yeah, the dye got on me or something. I'm not bruised. It's just the dye. And then the rain like reignited the mango fragrance. It's just everywhere. It's so pervasive. I don't even want to eat this potato chip. Oh, it's awful. So I was gonna take a shower anyway, but now I really got to take a shower, and it's just awful. I'm gonna wash the dress too, but oh yeah, that was bad. But I had fun. And I got a lot of cool stuff at Dollar Tree, so I'm very happy about that. Anyways, that is it.